Let's dive right into today's explainer. We are looking at a really brilliant presentation from the channel Silverzz, all about the concept of gifting elegance. Specifically, we're going to break down the anatomy of a perfect modern heirloom, a pure silver engraved flower vase. So before we get into the specifics of this piece, you really have to ask yourself, what actually makes a gift last a lifetime? We've all been there, right? Agonizing over finding the absolute perfect present, only to give something that gets shoved to the back of a closet within a week. It's frustrating, but a true lifetime gift, that demands a very specific mix of timeless materials, serious craftsmanship, and real lasting value. Keep that exact question in the back of your mind as we unpack this Silverzz vase, because we're going to see exactly how they attempt to solve this age-old gifting problem. Now, what's super interesting here is how the source immediately establishes the premium nature of the piece. They call it a beautifully engraved 999 pure silver flower vase. And that number right there, 999, is absolutely crucial. It means the metal is 99.9% pure silver. We're talking about the absolute highest level available. This isn't just silver plated over some cheap metal, and it's not a harder, watered-down alloy. It is pure. And here's a fascinating fact from an artisan's perspective. Pure silver is actually naturally quite soft. So to successfully pull off intricate, beautiful engraving on a 999 pure surface, that requires an immense level of skill. It literally transforms a raw material into a striking piece of artistry right out of the box. But of course, an heirloom is completely useless if it doesn't actually fit into someone's daily life, right? A pretty object doesn't mean much if it just sits in a drawer. The presentation highlights three key ways this vase is used. First, as elevated home decor. It's a functional piece that actively makes a living space look better. Second, it's pitched as the ultimate housewarming gift. Think about it. Giving pure silver adds this amazing touch of permanence and weight to a completely new home. And lastly, for those big special occasions, it honestly takes all the guesswork out of finding a high-end present for major anniversaries or milestone celebrations. Okay, moving beyond just the purity of the metal, we have to talk about trust. And that is all captured in one absolutely vital word: hallmarked. A hallmark isn't just some modern corporate logo they slapped on the bottom. It is an official mark, historically issued by an assay office, which is a centuries-old practice specifically designed to prevent fraud. So by ensuring this vase is officially hallmarked, they are anchoring the piece in a massive historical tradition of verified authenticity. The person receiving this isn't just getting a pretty vase, they are getting a verified precious metal asset with an official guarantee. That is a game changer. Let's be real for a second. Presentation is basically half the experience of getting a high-end gift. The emphasis the source puts on this being gift-ready speaks directly to the psychology of gifting. It completely removes the friction for us as the giver, and it instantly signals to the receiver that, wow, this is something special. The elegance is just baked right into the delivery. And when you combine that immediate wow factor with the fact that it's deliberately crafted to last a lifetime, well, we circle right back to our original question. Because it uses pure materials instead of just chasing some fleeting trend, it's not going to degrade. It is literally designed to be kept, displayed, and potentially even passed down. Now, let's talk numbers, because whenever you are looking at authenticated 999 silver, understanding the market value is key. The presentation shows us a really notable drop here from the original 4,500 rupee valuation. In the world of precious metals, anytime you see a reduction in the cost of entry, that is a serious opportunity. You are essentially getting your hands on a premium, lifetime asset that holds real intrinsic material value, but you're doing it at a marked discount from its standard valuation. So the final cost comes to $4,280. And the argument the presentation is making here is really compelling. The barrier to entry for a verified precious metal heirloom is actually surprisingly accessible, especially when you compare it to disposable luxury goods. Just think for a second about what people usually spend on major occasions. We routinely drop similar amounts on trendy items that completely lose their value or their usefulness within a single year. Securing an authenticated, beautifully crafted piece of pure silver for $4,280 totally flips that dynamic. You get long-term permanence for a highly accessible investment. We've looked at the 99.9% purity, we've talked about the heavy historical weight of that official hallmark, the sheer artisan skill needed for the engraving, and of course, that accessible value proposition. So as we wrap up this explainer on the silver showcase, I want to leave you with a thought. In today's era of temporary, disposable, easily forgotten stuff, what kind of permanent legacy do you want the gifts you give to leave behind? Who in your life actually deserves a gift crafted to last a lifetime?